Hello, I am Marcia Larimore. I am a learning and development specialist as well as a trained adult educator. And today I'm going to share with you three tips on how to prepare for the changing world of work. Now, I would have written two posts on my LinkedIn page a few weeks ago on the same topic. However, I thought it best to provide this bite sized presentation to give you additional information as to how you can successfully prepare for the changing world of work. Before I begin, I will just minimize the video panel. I know sometimes persons find it to be a bit distracting, and I want to make sure then that I remove all form of distractions so that you'll be able to focus solely on the message at hand. So let's begin. According to the World Economic Report, it states that due to advancements in technology, the labor market will continue to experience disruptions as the increase in technological innovations will continue to change the world of work and the types of jobs in the workplace. It is estimated then by 2025, at least 85 million jobs will be displaced or no longer exist. However, there is some good news. At least 97 million new roles or new professions may emerge due to technological advancements and innovations. So, from the research, you really have to be proactive and take the extra steps to prepare yourself so that you are able to function successfully alongside these technology. So, with that, it brings me to my first tip, which is then that you really need to have some idea as to what is happening in your industry. In order to stay ahead of the curve, you need to have some idea as to what the developments are, what are the disruptions that's taking place in your industry. And to help you in that regard, here are a few questions that you can use to guide you as you do your research to determine what exactly is happening in your field of interest. So the first question is your industry or the industry that you're hoping to enter or transition to into, is it expanding or contracting? Hopefully it is expanding, right? That's a good sign, meaning then that it'll be around for quite some time. You're able to actually grow and develop in that particular industry. Also, how is your industry evolving? What is causing the changes in your industry? Are the disruptions or the changes that are taking place in your sector? Are those changes happening due to automation? Are they digitalizing all of their processes, etc.? What exactly is causing the changes in your industry? Also, what skills, knowledge, and competencies are in demand or will be in demand in your industry in a few years? Knowing this information is important because it will give you some idea as to what skills, what knowledge, what competencies you would need to possess to function successfully in your sector. So, once you have some idea as to how your industry is evolving, my second tip is to begin to assess your skill set. To do this, I recommend a very simple learning needs analysis. And when I talk about learning needs analysis, it's really just a method that you can use to determine what your learning gaps or learning needs are. So to do this, you will begin to list all of your current skills, knowledge, and experiences. And then from the research you would have gathered, you would list all of the desired or the required skills, knowledge, and competencies you would like to obtain, or those skills that will be needed in the future in your industry or your field of interest. So once you have gathered and once you have listed all of that information, you would compare your current skill sets, meaning the skills that you have today, compare it against the desired or the required levels of skills that you would like to obtain. And if you notice that there are differences between the skills that you have today and the skills, your desired skill sets, then you know then that you actually have a learning need or a learning gap. Once you have identified that there is a learning gap, you need to now put in place a learning plan to assist you in closing these learning gaps. And so with that, this takes me then to my third tip, which is that you really have to commit to lifelong learning. So my recommendation is that today, not tomorrow, not next week, decide today to become a lifelong learner. This is important because upskilling and reskilling is now the norm. It is no longer an option, but a necessity. When you engage in continuous learning, it widens your knowledge base and skill sets. And when your knowledge base and skill sets increase, it really builds your confidence. Think about it. The more confident you are, right? You are able to apply for certain jobs. You're willing to take on more tasks and responsibilities. This is because your knowledge base has increased, your competencies levels have been enhanced, and so you're confident overall. And lastly, when you engage in continuous learning, it really allows you to stay relevant in an ever changing world. We saw the statistics earlier, and it states then that the world of work is changing, the manner in which we work is going to change and will continue to change. And so, if you want to remain relevant in your sector or your industry, you have to commit to lifelong learning. So, just to recap, then, these are the three tips that you can use to help you to prepare for the changing world of work. One, be informed about what your industry or what is happening in your industry. Two, assess your skill sets. And once you determine that there is a learning need, then you put a plan in place so that you can close those learning gaps. And three, commit to lifelong learning. I really hope that you find these tips beneficial. I personally have used them on my personal development journey, and they've been very, very successful. I welcome your thoughts and your comments. So please feel free to contact me on any of my social media platforms. You see them outlined on the screen. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, I am Marcia Larimore, and I will see you next time.